Showtime, Bitcoin moneymaker, every angle to get in the crypto game. Welcome to all my fellow Bitcoin monkeys. Try to make this video a much shorter one because the last one ran really long. Just want to start with, I want to let you guys know I am starting to think about how to organize storing all my different Bitcoins for the future as prices keep increasing across the entire market, because when this stuff, like let's say you have a couple grand in, or even if you have 100 grand in, imagine what it'll feel like 6 months from now, a year from now, when it could be worth 5, 10 times as much. And it's a lot of money. And you really can easily F it up and lose it. So I'm just going to tell you my plan quick. My plan is to only hold so much on each hard wallet. Um, I recommend doing whatever amounts are comfortable, but I definitely wouldn't have it all on one. I'm going to get different types of hardware wallets in case the firmware goes bad, the brand goes bad, the company has corruption or a hack, or something bad happens with the lawsuits. I don't know. So I'm going to have different brands, Ledger, TREZOR, and I'm going to have backup ones that are blank. I already have a hardware wallet. Now I'm getting extra ones for the future. I'm going to have a backup of each that is blank and clear, because if you lose your hardware wallet, the way to recover it as quick as possible is to have a new one that's blank and you put your seed in there. Also, I'm planning on having my seeds codified so that only I can move the letters and words around to know what the right order is or what the right letters are. So that even if someone found it in my safe, buried in my backyard, in a safety deposit box, somewhere, on my computer in a file, in a hidden file, wherever it ends up, it'll be codified anyway. So I heavily recommend you guys codify your seeds. I recommend you have multiple hardware wallets, and I hope you, when you do codify your seeds, have those codified seeds in two different places, just in case there's a fire, there's an earthquake, there's a tornado, some kid somehow in your house or somewhere else takes it, or you're in a hotel room and you have one and the maid takes it, whatever it is, have multiple. Okay, so yeah. So, I mean, again, security song, use Nord, use Trezor, use Ledger, here's Nord, use Brave, use the browser with no HTML, no tracking your web history. And if you can stomach it, use DuckDuckGo for your searches. It mostly sucks, but for simple searches, it's good. Try to stay away from Google. And as well, Proton Mail. It's free. I don't get anything out of it. It's worldwide, open source, encrypted email. Use that instead of Gmail, where the hacks have happened recently. They get into your phone number, all that crazy stuff. Stay away from Gmail if you can. And that's it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, share, and on to the markets. I haven't really done much because I've been focusing on some other things, but there were some good moves this morning for altcoins, all kind of coming up. I have some tips about margin trading. I like learning coins that can margin trade, because if I learn them well, I feel like I can make more money by doing some margin trading on the coins, and everything's so volatile and a lot of ones have room to grow. So I like to margin trade on Bitfinex. Bitfinex has had, unfortunately, the Tether controversy, and I keep watching this like a hawk to see if Tether becomes cheap compared to the US dollar because it's inflated, but it's been fine so far. But I like Bitfinex for margin trading. You have to use a VPN if you're a US resident. You don't need verification though. And they have a lot of the big names like OMG, Neo, Litecoin, Dash, all those. BitMEX is the best site to do all this, definitely. But on the other hand, BitMEX has future contracts. So if you want to trade any of these other ones, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, you see in the upper left here, ETH, Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, uh, Monero, Ripple, etc. They have some good big name coins. But the thing is, when you go to those, you can only trade a futures contract, which is, you can see what the future price, the date is here, is December 29th, and it has a price that's aiming at, and its market's always higher, betting on what the price will be then. You can sell in and out anytime though, but the catch is, you aren't paying in dollars here. You see where I'm highlighted? You're paying in Monero or Ethereum or Dash, and in US dollars, 1 unit of that is costing hundreds already. You know, I think Monero's 300-400, Dash is whatever, 600-700, Ethereum's 450. So it's expensive. So if you have like so much Bitcoin, everything in BitMEX, everything for this is based on your Bitcoin in your account. When you get paid out in Bitcoin, you always get paid back in Bitcoin. You never change currencies. You just buy contracts where you get paid back in what they call XBT. It's just their version of Bitcoin, but you get paid out in normal Bitcoin. We need to watch out for is if you do like 2 times margin, here's the leverage where you can actually change how much margin you do. Again, I'm a beginning margin trader and a more beginner trader. I just stay in 2 to 3. That's where I've been comfortable. When I get cocky and go 5 to 10, I have made some money, but you also lose really quick. So I stayed at 2 or 3 with a pretty tight stop loss, and my strategy is pretty much like on any bet, I may put up half the value of my wallet, but I'll put a stop loss so I only lose 2 to 5%. So that means like on any loss, let's say out of this 80, I may lose 2, like 0.0002 or 0.003, or gain 0.002 or 3 or 4 or 5. So I keep it small, and I just try to focus on consistently picking more profitable things, and when I lose that I don't lose much, which is much harder to achieve than you think. And I'm a beginner at it, and and also I limit this again in my portfolio to a very small percentage. I think like this isn't even all the money I'm supposed to allocate to it, but it's a very tiny percentage of any money I have in crypto is playing with this to hopefully see if I can get better at it. But this one, so it's expensive. That's my point. It's very expensive to trade any of the altcoins. But if you go to XBT and you go, this is the biggest exchange there is as far as volume, and this is one you'll always see on my chart. So if we go over here, if I go to XBT UCSD, this is the BitMEX inverse perpetual swap. You'll see it on the, let's go to the daily chart. You'll see the volume right here, 3 billion, 4 billion, blah, 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 2 billion. See all these? Look how much has come up. I got in like August, and if we go back here, that's only October, and it's at, you know, 1 billion maybe for a day, 833 million versus now it's 4 billion. Now the other one, everyone always says, oh, look at this one, look at this one, look at Coinbase. If we go to Coinbase's and we look at this right here, maybe GDAX is different, but I think they're the same. Maybe I'll go look, but I don't know what this 8841K is, but I just know that looking at anyways, looking at CoinMarketCap, this one, it has the most volume, I think by far, and Bitfinex has the second. I think GDAX has like a fourth of this volume, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can go really quick. I tried not to go to market cap today to make the video shorter, but we'll see if it loads up quick and I can look at the market volume. But anyways, let's go look at the trade that I made today. So I was a little late this morning. This morning, a whole bunch of alts kind of had this nice run up earlier in the day, at least here in the United States. So if we go to, I don't know, let's say like the 4 hour, something like that. So you can see earlier in the day, we had this nice run up. Actually, the last 2 days or so, we had this nice run up that I was not a part of. I think I must have been doing something else or outside. But yeah, we had this, and so a lot of the altcoin charts follow this, and so I kind of started looking around here when I was late to the party. So now I've kind of stayed away. And then earlier tonight, this is when Bitcoin's been coming down. If we go into, I think maybe the 15-minute chart could be good. I believe that I got in somewhere around, let's see, let's go to the 1-minute chart. I actually got in not that long ago. So before this big pop-up, if we scroll out on the 1-minute chart, I got in around here, and I saw that it's under the cloud, and I saw that the Chico line is under the price, and it was kind of under the 21-minute. So I like using, for any moving averages, like 21-minute is a very close line. If it's under or over, that means it's really bullish or really bearish. 50 is kind of more of a general trend, and then 100 is like possible trend change, and then 200 is a very good chance of a trend change may happen and keep going in that direction. But you see, it's generally been bearish, and now it's finally crossed the 200 after all this time, and it may consolidate and it may go up. I thought it was never probably going to go below 12,500. I just think there's too many people that are willing to hold or buy their Bitcoin to do that. But if we just look at the candle chart themselves, so I got in around here. I played it down 2 or 3 times with small wins, and then I played another one somewhere around here, thinking it would still keep going down around this consolidation, and then it blew up and hit my stop and went up there. So I've just had mostly today, I think it ended up in, I lost $2 or $3 overall. But it was a good lesson because there was a lot of price action, and really what I needed to work at is that, again, my mistakes always seem to happen when I have a couple wins. When you have a couple wins and then you get a loss, you're like, I tell myself, oh, I can't be losing. There must be something else like pretty much wrong with the charts instead of wrong with my trading. Like, let's go in again. So I won 2 or 3 small times going down here. And the next thing I did on my 4th time is I upped my ante because I was like, okay, I'm not betting enough. So I put in more and I got a small loss, and then I bet again. And when I bet again, I should have realized we're at the bottom of 13,000. If the very low is 12,500, I left a stop loss open, I think, where I could lose, I think I lost out of that wallet, it was like 84,000 Satoshis. I lost 3,000. So that's, I don't know, 5-6%. I should have put my stop loss a lot tighter as we got lower towards the ultimate low. Because if we imagine this can only go down to 12,500, the closer we get, the more likely it is to turn around or at least shoot up for a while and break the stop. So the stop should be tighter. Where earlier in this run, like let's say I got in way earlier, I don't know when this was at, I don't know, 14 hours ago, something like that. If I got on, when it's at 15 thinking it's going to go down a lot, well then I can have a bigger stop loss because we have a lot of room to run down before it starts to get crazy. And we can definitely also see that. Another interesting thing to look at is the day chart is the Fibonacci retracement lines. So if we look here, you can see where we got this fib trace line right here is pretty much where it hit twice as resistance. And that's another good indicator that not just 13,000, 12,500, but this fib line, a lot of people are going to want to, that shorted are going to want to buy in here with their profits, or people looking to get in are going to say, hey, it's hitting this fib line. A lot of people are probably going to be buying right now because they think it's not going to go any lower. So the shorts think like it's not going to go any lower either. Other people on the sidelines say, hey, it's going to hit this fib line. This could act as resistance. And I also thought it wasn't going to go much lower than 12,500. I think if you just look at the general trend and you kept drawing it, that's about where we would be anyways, is right here. Still above this old channel, but somewhere around there. So that's pretty much the lesson for today. So I will be I'll show you guys, and hopefully you guys give me some tips because I'm sure some of you are killer traders out there. But yeah, I'm down 32, so I was up a couple times down. But you can see on this account, again, I showed a lot of episodes ago, but I was at somewhere starting out with, what was I starting out with? 54, somewhere in there before I did I think a withdrawal. I went from 53 and I conservatively worked my way up. You can see the gain and loss days, but I worked my way up conservatively up to 97 very steadily. And this is over, over a month or so. And then I had some losses here, and now I'm back to getting me in. But at least you can see here, I've really calmed down how far up and down I go. So I'm really trying to pull in my tighter stop losses, and I'm trying to only go when there's a trend. And again, this same thing happened to me again. I had 3 little wins in a row, and these days right here, and I said I need to bet more, and I need to widen my stop losses. That's when I lose. Whenever I keep my stop loss tight, and I only bet on a clear trend, that's when it seems to work. So Chain Group's still paying out, thank God. I think I'm $3,200 out of 5,000 out of Chain Group over to BitConnect. Again, I pray that this keeps working through the holiday break and after the last day of Dragon Group being able to deposit. I think that is in a couple weeks, maybe a week and a half before Dragon Group stops taking deposits. And then over to BitConnect. I think this is one of the highest paying days ever for me between the two put together. So I got like 167 out of Chain Group, and then it's finally a high interest day at BitConnect. So you can see that's 1.5%. So now this is actually growing quick. So that's like 167 plus 112. I don't even know what that math put together is. That like 180 or something like that. So that's definitely the highest it's been. So I'm happy with that. I guess the two together, no, 280. Sorry, is those two added together. So again, my goal is to get to shovel stuff over from Chain Group until January 5th, if they still hopefully exist then. Most people are optimistic there. I'm just being very careful. So I want to get to 400 a day. When I get to 400 payout a day, put in 10K originally is to pay out until I get like a 20% profit. That's 12 grand. I think that'll take 30 days, because 30 times the 400, sorry, 30 times the 400 is the 12 grand. So that should be somewhere in, I don't know, mid-February. So that's my plan. I hope it works, and I really believe if BitConnect, it would be the last man standing if they all fell, all these lending programs, because it's been around the longest. All this money coming to Bitcoin, I know it's down to like whatever, 13, 14,000. It's going to shoot up within a month, no matter what. I mean, maybe it'll be slow over the holidays because people are spending on Christmas presents and, plane tickets and whatever else, and people are away from their trading desks. But no, I think it can go up, especially alts. I think they're gonna have they're starting to have their day. And then I finished the hedge fund edge, so I was kind of got a broad overview of the hedge fund mentality, and it's called the Hedge Fund Edge, and you can get a free PDF just by Googling it. It's from 1997, but it's a very good overall book on mitigating risk, only following trends, get as much profit as you can for as little risk as possible, never be wed to any market or asset. Always look for trends that will last 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, and try to get on those high trends and try to diversify into multiple good trends in multiple industries. So it really opened my mind to that. And the Day Trader's Bible is from 1919, and it's a classic apparently. Crypto Rand from Twitter tweeted it out that he highly recommended it, and it reads, it's a really fun read. It's really quick. If you've done some trading, you really feel what he's saying. And this is back from tape readers, back in the day in World War I when they were on the floor. And he's totally a trader's trader. He preaches that being a trader is so much different than being a broker or anyone else, and he's very efficient. He told a story about going and walking on the market floor himself to do some trades to save fees, and how everything is about price, and that news is just kind of noise that feeds price anyway, and that it really is the dedication to the discipline that gives you that instinct to be able to make the good trades, just from, in his words, looking at the tape and looking at the numbers. But from our view, that's just the same thing, the charts and the prices and the indicators and what's coming and going. So this is a fun read, and it goes much faster. It's only 119 pages on this PDF. The Hedge Fund Edge was, I think it was like over 200, and it was really dense reading. Like even the words are big on this in this PDF, where the words on the Hedge Fund Edge are tiny textbook words. So this will be a nice light read. I don't think it has a lot of really deep technical analysis and examples. I'll probably try to do something like that next, like a swing trading book. So I get all of it. I get the total day trader side, the total hedge fund macro 10,000 foot side, and then the swing trader, which just kind of sits in between. And that's really it. I mean, the market cap really did fall a lot. I think there's a lot of room right now to buy the so-called bottom soon. I don't know if the bottom will be after the CMEs, and we'll see even more shorting and fear in the markets. I'm not looking to make any big trades right now because there's so much uncertainty. I kind of have what I want, but I am putting in a lot more money into Bitcoin. Like I said, I'm going to make it half or more of my portfolio, maybe up to 60%, and save 10 for buying dips or buying new alts, but always try to be around 60%. in Bitcoin. I think a lot of crazy stuff is going to happen with all these other coins in the markets, but one thing's for sure, people will buy Bitcoin. Everything else is kind of, you don't know when alts are going to come up, or how some of these plans that are going to come to fruition 2 to 3 years from now, but you know Bitcoin will be around and you know people will buy it, and that's what I have to say about that. As always, the rest is up to you.